How dare you charge what you charge? How dare you have chosen the number that you chose for yourself in your life to write down on your fucking paper today? How dare you pick that number, right? Who am I to judge you, period? Let alone your own self-worth, your own goals, your own heart's desires, or where you want to go in this car. You know, I may want to go to Utah. If you want to go to New Orleans, who am I to judge you for that? Just because you're not going where I want to go, we're different. Right. It ain't good, bad, right, or wrong. Brother, you make your number. You create your dreams. I'm cheering you on because I'll create my number, my dreams. You're going to cheer me on. If you get mad and start hating on others, whoa, that right there is an indicator that there's something on the inside of you that you need to look at.
Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Hip here with another episode of the Tattoo Guardians podcast. And boy, what a great episode. It could be very uncomfortable. I don't know, it just depends on where you're at with that personal relationship, with that thing we call money. It's scary, or is it? I don't know. I guess it's up to you. So keep on listening to hear how we dive deep into the pockets of the mind. Pun intended. Also, stay tuned because this episode at the end, we give away the Numa 4 from Carson Hill and all the people at Numa. And just as promised, Mr. Joshua Carlton is giving away a print to that one lucky winner. So stay tuned for the episode. Stay tuned for afterwards for the giveaway. And we appreciate you like always. Keep listening.
How you feeling, Matt?
Good, brother. How are you? You look good.
I'm good, man. Oh,
yeah.
You didn't notice that? Oh, wait.
Oh, damn!
Oh, you don't have one of those? I'm so sorry.
It also side note, there's nothing else.
I like how it's like side note, ... Matt Clemens.
Go ahead.
Hey, guys.
You should have said side note. I'm just kidding. Okay, go ahead.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Hip.
How are you?
Good. How are you, brother?
Good. I'm in a good mood.
Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, you are. I would be too if I had one of them mugs.
Man.
And not the one he's drinking out of either.
Right.
So I got my both my TVs. They're Samsung, and Samsung gives you a plethora of different channels to watch. And I've got mine set both downstairs and upstairs on Bob Ross 24/7. So it used to be news just to watch news and like wreck and see like no wonder people were fucking scared all the time. But I found out that Bob Ross is 24/7, and I'm like, yeah. So anytime I turn my TV on, it's art. It's Bob Ross. I mean, really, you ain't got to say too much past that, because if you don't know who Bob Ross is, then you just don't own a TV, I guess, or you watch too much news. But I appreciate that a lot. He's just a fucking sweetheart. He's like, what is he like? He's like an Avett Brothers song come to life.
Do you ever attempt to paint like that? Like, it's kind of a technique.
If it is a technique, I don't know, but he makes it look so fluid and easy. And no, I've never set up an easel and painted alongside with Bob Ross.
Right.
Or maybe I had a long time ago.
Right.
But since then, I enjoy it more for the therapeutic value in listening to him, and just because sometimes you'll see that he's going through a thing and he expresses it in like a loving and compassionate way through being of service to you. Even if it's like, so this happened and it's all right, to feel sad about some things. And how I substitute that sadness is, I'll create a happy little tree and give him a little partner over here. And let's put some highlights on them to bring some light in their life. And I'm like, damn you, Bob Ross, getting me right in the feels.
I like it when he beats the devil out of the brush. My daughter loves it. My daughter, she paints landscapes in a similar way, but she just does them on her own. And I've always thought I really should probably get her like a Bob Ross kit or something, because I think he definitely breaks it down. But it's kind of weird because I think in all of our memories, we think, yeah, Bob Ross is a good painter. They're cool. But when you go back and watch them, they're pretty fucking awesome.
Dude. And
Like-
he paints 3 of each painting. So like,
Oh, yeah, I heard about that, right? There's like one for the studio, right? One,
Yep.
yeah.
One live and then like a practice one.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure Sean, when he was on the podcast, mentioned that I think he's from Indiana, like around you guys somewhere. So I've never seen one in person, but Sean says they're like super, super thick too. So it'd be kind of cool to see.
Yeah.
But yeah, 24/7, hell yeah.
Nice, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, congratulations on your Samsungs.
Yeah, thank you.
Hell yeah, we're all real happy for you. Hell yeah. Man, it's good to be back with you brothers, chopping it up.
It is. It is good.
What do we want to share from our hearts from serve the people from our table tonight?
So the last time we recorded, I believe it was labeled, what was it? The biggest myth.
That wasn't the last time we recorded, and God knows how many episodes they're going to hear before they hear this one. That's okay. But go ahead. On that episode, we started touching.
Yeah, we started touching about like this really scary situation, and thing that people don't like to talk about, which is money. And I do believe that in whatever fucking episode that was that we recorded, we ended it saying like, man, we totally need to do like a part 2 of this just to like elaborate more and kind of touch base on it, because my personal experience is that like money was a touchy subject and it was scary to talk about and scary to bring up, but that's a stigma or that's a limiting belief or a meaning that I attach to it, like so many of us do. So I get it. We get it. But to like keep poking this bear to reveal that there's not a fucking bear there at all.
Right.
It's just fear, which is, what is that? Fake evidence appearing real.
Right. And there's a difference in perspective, whether you look at life of it happens to you versus if it happens for you.
I like the
Then
second
there's-
one.
Then there's a whole nother level, which is it happens through you.
Oh, shit.
Right.
So, Matt, because you seem to have a good handle on it, is this something that's come really natural for you, or were you ever at a point where you didn't really understand it as well, and you felt like, I know we've talked a little bit about feeling guilty sometimes,
Yeah.
or it's easy to feel guilty with money. It's definitely not something that we talk about a lot, or that people are taught to not talk about it a lot.
Correct.
Or were you always more open to it?
Open to it, but ignorant at the same time. So no, I wasn't brought up to like have a good understanding, and definitely didn't have freedom around finances. Definitely riddled with limiting beliefs, lack and caps on what's even possible. And it's taken me years to grow and to mature
Right.
around this energy that we call money, this tool that's meant to fund our lives, to support and fund our lives and be a blessing and meet needs in other people's lives. To mature around even what this conversation thing called money is has taken me years. And in those, even before those years, the struggle, the fear, the doubt, the worry, the lack. I mean, even my old days, the crazy shit I would do because of lack, right? And then becoming in business and being a struggling, starving artist. Like, I've gone through it all with self-worth issues, being walked over, not respected, like, you know, taken advantage of because I didn't know my own worth, expecting the consumer to know what my worth should be, right? Going through all that, bending over, getting disrespected, selling myself short, struggling, having internal turmoil, having to go through all that and learn is what now the freedom that I've gained, and I'm still learning and growing in these things to other levels, is why I have such passion to turn around and help other artists get freed of the snares that we all get caught up in, right? So that's, I think, my passion for it is because, nope, I too was broken in spirit. And now I'm not. And so I wanted to let you know there's hope for you, that you don't have to be broken in spirit either. But here's the thing. Check this analogy out. We all know about, like, rescue dogs and pit bulls that were bred to fight, right?
Yeah.
So we all know if we take a pit bull who was raised since he was a puppy to just fucking fight and be killer, and if we went and rescued that pit bull from the rings and took him to the dog park today to whatever, put him around other dogs, do you think it's going to go well? You think he's just going to be licking and loving? Or do you think he's going to go straight into fight or defense, fight or flight mode?
You can go for the neck.
He's going to go for the neck because of his learned behavior. That's all. Now, is there hope for that dog? Absolutely. With the right love, coaching, training to help him unlearn and learn a new possibility for his life, that dog can learn to know love and actually have friends at the dog park one day. And we've seen those stories happen. But it takes time for that. Work, growth, greater understanding, right? And so we know we wouldn't take a dog that was a killer yesterday and try and take him to dog park around other kids and dogs. But oftentimes we expect that from ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And don't take into account all these years and our parents and our upbringing, years and years of programming and learned behavior, especially around this thing called money. And now all of a sudden now you're an adult, you're out here, now it's your turn to figure it all out. And this is where we are all riddled with pre-programming, learned behavior, i.e. limiting beliefs that are in our lives, blocking us from our already abundance, our already inheritance, our abundance that's already here. It's already been created for you. You don't even have to create it, but what we create is limiting beliefs, blocking us from being able to receive our own already here abundance. So this is a big thing we focus on in Tattoo Business Mastery, and our conversations as brothers, the three of us, as we've grown together in recent years, right, is really taking a look at and doing some inner work, right? You know, a minute ago, someone brought up that saying, hurt people, right? But I'm also learning, those of us who have the courage to go inward and do deep work, I'm talking even like meeting my inner 5 and 6 year old self and acknowledging 6-year-old little boy, your 6-year-old little girl, whatever the case may be. When you have the courage, and we're all doing this, I'm still doing the inner work for healing. That, yes, hurt people, and healing people. Heal people. And when you have the courage to go deep diving and do your own work, you start to have the courage to get to know yourself on a deeper level. This is the practice. This is the game. This is what I'm practicing. I was doing it today on a coaching call with one of my coaches, getting me to take a look at me in a way that I couldn't see yet. It's helping me see my own blind spots, right? When you can grow on a deeper level, other people will connect with you on a deeper level. Other people will notice that in you and be drawn to you on a deeper level, right? Even around this thing called finances. But it starts with, because how you see your business, how you see this thing called money determines what's even possible for you. Now we live in a world of infinite possibility. So much is possible for you. Way more than what you can even know right now, can imagine. Think of the best, and I guarantee what God can do for you, what the universe has got for you, even exceeds your fucking best day, right? But so oftentimes, that's all limited in our life because of how we see and think what's even really possible for us, what's even in the cards for us. Example, all of my students before joining TBM, we vet every one of them. Hip, you guys know we have a face-to-face Zoom call to make sure if I can even help them. 2, make sure they're a right fit. Are they hungry, coachable? So I do ask them a line of questions. Guys, you would be shocked how many tattoo artists, when I start asking them questions, goal-oriented questions and money-oriented questions, how they don't even fucking know the answer.
Yeah.
Like simple as if I say, hey man, I know it all can fluctuate. Some weeks can be better than others, but on average, what is your weekly financial goal? Like we all got what I call our floor, our bare minimum, like I'd like to do this, but I at least take this home every week to keep the fucking lights on. And what is that? But on average, what is your financial goal? It's mind blowing how many, not just tattoo artists, but full on shop owners don't even have one and don't even know what they
Actual
make.
shop owners, wow.
Yeah, don't
That
even
surprises
know
me, yeah.
their own finances. Like, I don't, I got funds allocated for supplies and I know the bills are paid, but I don't really know what I actually do each month. Right?
So for me, like, I probably didn't really either until I think we've talked about it on this podcast, but I do that thing every morning where I write down the date and a zero, and I have a goal for the money, the bare minimum I'd like to make for that day.
Yes.
So now I'm extremely aware of all of my income, but that's what it took for me, the act of writing it down.
Thank you, Josh.
And then once you write it down, you kind of realize the power and the potential as well. You know what I mean?
And how often do you actually hit that goal each day?
Very often.
Very,
very often.
Come on.
Yeah. And there's only so many zeros you want to see, because to me, the clock resets every morning. Right?
Right.
So even if I had if my goal, let's say my goal is $300 for the day,
right,
and I don't even have a tattoo plan, right?
Yeah.
I might try to sell a print or a painting or whatever.
Yeah.
But if I don't do something, or even if, let's go back, even if I did have, let's say I sold 3 paintings, I had a great day, the clock still starts over the next day at 0.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's easy to rest on your laurels. For me, it is, at least for me to be like, oh, I killed it yesterday. And then you kind of keep sitting on it. And then all of a sudden you're like, well, I sold 3 paintings a month ago. Right? And when you're super aware of what you're doing, you become more driven. And this is the reason that I personally talk about giving so much, because I know I said it before, but the more I make, the more I can give. And that's just where I'm at in my life currently right now. That's really, really important to me. Yeah. That I give back. So, you said that you had someone that said you were a terrible giver because, you didn't have the abundance yet. I think that's beautiful. And I think that's somewhere where I try to be a better giver. I'm not a hero. I'm not trying to pretend I'm changing the world.
Right.
There's always so much more I can be doing. But I did notice once I started writing it down, taking responsibility for it, the more I give, the more it just comes back. And I can just give more. It's just a big cycle that just keeps happening. I'm always looking at my wife and I'm like, watch this. Watch, we're going to give extra this time and we're going to watch what happens. And sometimes on the drive home from giving, the source shows up and just gives us something else. It's like, man,
Yes.
Yes, so if you're not writing it down, apologize. It's a real simple thing. Just get yourself a journal. I use these Moleskine journals. Write down the date and write down a 0 for the day and give yourself a goal. If you make $300 a day, that's $109,500, I think, a year. So for those people that don't know what they're making, if you can just average $300 a day, see, and this is uncomfortable me talking about on air. This shouldn't be uncomfortable.
Yeah, right.
We're talking about real things here, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Why am I uncomfortable? But we're keeping it real here, But whatever your goal is, you can do more than, if you're a tattooer, you can do more than tattoo, right? You can make prints, you can do this, you can do that, you can, whatever it takes. You don't have to be hustling 24/7, but
that's right.
You only want to write down so many zeros before you start figuring out something else to do. Well, hey, I'm off today, but I'm not doing anything. Maybe I'll go into the shop and see if there's any walk-ins available after everybody else is taken care of. I don't know, right? But once you start seeing those numbers and then you add it up every month, you kind of start saying either one, I'm making a lot more than I ever did, or B, I was not handling my finances responsibly because I had no idea I was making this kind of money.
Right.
Either way, it's a lesson.
Right, brother. And it's so good. And who told you what number to write down?
I don't remember. I just remember when I heard that 300 a day was 109,000, my mind was kind of blown because I think most tattoo artists can make that happen. Yeah. That's not chump change, but it's not ridiculous either.
Right.
There's people out there, this might sound terrible, but that have $1,000 a day heroin addiction and they make it.
Right.
They manage
and it's
to
a harder
together.
struggle, trust me.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm not trying to belittle that, but once you kind of decide. So I don't remember where that number came from, but 300 has always just kind of been my number, my day.
Well, thank you. And my point to that is you are the creator of that number. No one else told you or made you make it that number.
Gotcha.
You got to place your order from the beginning. You chose because you chose that number. It's not good, bad, or right or wrong. That's what you chose. But that's all. And so that's the order you've placed with the universe. And so that's what's showing up in your life.
And that makes you a fucking 6-figure a year
easy
money-making machine.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Like, my whole idea of like 5 years is going to come and go, whether you write this down or not, whatever decision you didn't make yet, that 5 years is going to come and go. Yeah. If you start, I tell all of my students when I'm teaching my seminars this, I say, I know it's uncomfortable for some, but let's talk a little bit about money. And they're usually pretty eager. Yeah. And it always sounds so simple, but the truth is, guys, is you have to write it down. Part of it is in the actual act of writing it down. If you just say it out loud, it's got some power, but write it fucking down. I'm telling you, it changes everything.
Make it tangible.
It makes it real.
Yeah. Well, and I like that he starts a new journey each day.
Yeah.
Because usually what we do at Aisle 9 when I help with students, we start with big, hairy, scary goals. Then we bring it down to like a 3-year goal. Then we bring it down to the yearly goal. Then we bring it down to monthly, and then the monthly goal is a direct finger pointer of what each week looks like, and then the week will break down the day, but it's all quantified with the end in mind, right? So if that seems like too much for someone to tackle, I will start with a new student of a month. Like, there's one thing of what do you have to bring home every month to live on, to pay your bills and rent. Right. And then what would you like that number to be? So let's say arbitrarily, if it is in an average number, most artists say, man, I'd be happy with $2,000 a week, right?
Sure.
But if we're talking 6 figures, let's just say $10,000 a month. So now we're at $2,500 a week, right? $2,500, an artist bringing home $2,500 a week, you're at $10,000 a month. That's $120,000 a year, right? I'm just using simple numbers. Right. So if an artist says he wants to do, $10,000 a month, what does that look like? $2,500 a week. Okay, so let's look at 1 week. What does your week look like, or what do you need to do to create the $2,500 that week? And how many days of the week is it going to take you? You going to do it in 6 or 7? Can you do it in 5? Can you do it in 4? What does that look like? And then it points down to your daily habits and your rates and either the type of artist you are and what you offer. Do you do all day rates, full days and half days? Do you charge by the piece? Are you still charging by the hour? None of this is good, bad, right, or wrong. You are the creator. You get to create your best life by your own design. But if we were to hop in a car together right now, if me, Joshua Carlton, and Hip came to your place to pick you up and you hopped in with us, we would need to punch in our destination of where we're all going, right? We need to tell us, but when we do punch in our destination of where we're going, Siri also is determining our exact location where we're at. So we've got where we're at and where we're going. And it's the same in every area of your life. Where are you at today? Where are you going? Where do you wish you want to be? And what does that look like? What are all the things that's standing in your way that's held you back from having that in your life right now? This is things we focus on in Tattoo Business Mastery, but this is also things we focus on here with you right now on the podcast. But what's really important is having a vision, i.e. creating goals around it, giving yourself the permission to create whatever it is you want to create. That's why I asked Josh, who told you to make it that number? No one. His own, something on the inside of him decided that. And that's great. What is your number? What is your dream number? Okay, so most artists are like, man, I'd love to just do $2,000 a week. What are you doing right now? 500 to 1,000? Cool, so there's the gap. How can we literally help you double your revenue, right? So if it was $2,000 for a week, and let's say you only want to tattoo 4 days. Cool. So what does your life look like? Can you do a $500 tattoo a day just for 4 days? If you do one $500 tattoo for 4 days straight, you've hit your goal, right? Some guys that do all day marathon sessions, what if your all day rate's $1,000? Now you're only working 2 days a week and you hit your $2,000 goal. and now you're off 5 days a week to Russ Abbott it and do other fucking projects, whatever you want. But you get to create it. Now, we can all sit here in the car. We haven't left the parking lot. We punch in the destination. And how weird would it be if we don't know exactly how we're going to get there, that if we just don't even start driving? Siri's ready to go. Josh has got his foot on the brake, and we're all waiting to go. How often in life will we not even start going because we don't know exactly how it's all going to happen, right? And that's where we will get locked up and not even start the process, or even take the pen and paper out like Josh is telling you to do, and to write it down, because you don't even see how it's possible for you, right?
Right.
Or you'll see other people already heading to the destination and be pissed at them and judge them and label them for fucking knowing their destination and implementing goals to get to where they're supposed to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, how dare they?
How dare they? How dare you charge what you charge? How dare you have chosen the number that you chose for yourself in your life to write down on your fucking paper today? How dare you pick that number, right? Who am I to judge you, period? Let alone your own self-worth, your own goals, your own heart's desires, or where you want to go in this car. You know, I may want to go to Utah. If you want to go to New Orleans, who am I to judge you for that? Just because you're not going where I want to go, we're different. It ain't good, bad, right, or wrong. Brother, you make your number. You create your dreams. I'm cheering you on, because I'll create my number, my dreams. You're going to cheer me on. If you get mad and start hating on others, whoa, that right there is an indicator that there's something on the inside of you that you need to look at.
Yeah, if I'm pointing a finger at you, I got 3 more pointing right back at me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
I was just going to say, it just seems like I think we all learned that, but like at some point, money just became inherently evil. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and it's like, let's judge somebody off their character, right? If you have a ton of money and you're a fucking asshole, I'm going to call you out that you're an asshole.
That's
You know
right.
what I mean, you're going to be an asshole regardless. You just have more resources now.
Right.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, you're not automatically an asshole because of it. Like I said, I'm not pretending I'm some hero, and I'm not a billionaire either. But if I ever were a billionaire, I would give a lot of it away. There's a lot of good I would do with it. Yep. And I know people would say this and they'd say that, but it doesn't have to be like a hoarding thing, or I want all this money for power. It's just never been that way for me. My whole life has been goal oriented, and finances is just it's another goal. You know, it's a goal that's something that I can work towards. I can work up to.
Right.
I don't know. I've never connected the evilness to it. Again, like I said, I shouldn't feel uncomfortable on air talking about it, but I can hear the judgment already coming in.
Oh,
Man.
yeah.
And you bring up
$300 a day?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You bring up a great point because we've already kind of gotten this far, you know, or a decent amount, but there are some myths that like I want to address before we go any further. And Josh brings up a good one about money being morality, right? So because I grew up too thinking money is the root of all evil, right? Then I matured into, well, you know what? Okay, in my addiction, I wouldn't have done all the evil shit I did if I just had money, right? I could just keep getting high. I wouldn't have to steal from you or whatever. So the lack of money looks a little bit more eviler to me. Eviler. And that matured into understanding that like it isn't even none of that. All money does is enhance you, right? If you're an idiot and you win the lottery, now you're just a rich idiot, basically. Right. If you're an asshole broke, you better believe when you get rich, you're going to be an asshole rich. If you're a giver broke, you're going to give when you're rich. Yeah. Money is simply energy, and that's a big fact or distinction I think that needs to be made pretty early in this episode. Because I get it. If you know, I heard a lot of people may not dig this dude. He's very controversial, but like Jordan Peterson was talking about like rich people, you know, with the whole like eat the rich, you know, kill your master. Totally get with it. Fuck yeah. We don't have masters. We are our own masters of our own destiny, right? But think God, there's fucking rich people, right? Because this fucking satellite that we carry on our phone, the only reason that it's affordable to people like us is because rich people invested in it first and put money in it and bought it to where it is now tangible for just the common man to have. Burger King, right? Burger King, if it wasn't oversaturated and rich people didn't invest and open up franchises, you would be paying $20 for a fucking Whopper, right? Because they're exclusive. They're not is abundant. And the reason why they are abundant and everywhere is because of the rich got that. Now, are there some rich shitheads that fucking are power hungry? Totally.
Absolutely.
But there's also broke motherfuckers that are just as fucking greedy and as hungry and power driven as there are rich.
That's right.
Right.
Money's just a tool, just like a gun. Did the gun kill you? Is the gun a bad thing, or is the hand that grabbed the gun the killer? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you just have to, whatever you're doing in your life, you have to ask yourself, am I doing this for the right reasons? You know what I mean?
That's
am
right.
I trying to win this race of money for the right reasons, to better myself, to better my brothers and sisters or whatever? Or am I just a straight up dick? You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, you got to ask yourself, maybe every morning when you write down that zero, you got to maybe write down, am I still a dick, or like, are we good? Or
So then, like, for us three, like, we can say this stuff, and I'm trying to put my shoes to individuals that listen that may have been, at places we've all been before.
Speak to who you were 10 years ago then. Speak to the old you.
Right. So it's like, if I'm listening to this shit, like, yeah, it fucking sounds good, but you got fucking Joshua Carlton. Well, yeah, of course money ain't no thing to him. He's got people fucking beating down his door to get his tattoos. He's got paintings in museums and fucking he throws fucking conventions. So yeah, money ain't shit to him. And this fucking snake oil salesman over here fucking hypnotizing people with his weird cultish ways. Like, yeah, people are just dumping monies into his pockets. So I'm going to blame and point the finger at everything else. Help me to get in the mindset of like, why you're not a piece of shit for fucking charging what you see to charge. Right. Now, that's the question on the table for both of you. I will answer it first. So
I just love that.
'Cause I'm
questions on the table.
Because I'm so humble.
Yeah.
I've been told, okay, so I was an adolescent. I was an asshole kid. I fucking did horrible shit. Always had parents down my neck. Always had teachers down my neck. That turned into like going down the wrong path as an adult, going to jail, having motherfuckers tell me when I can't shit or eat or what day I can buy fucking commissary into prison and when I can go out to the yard, when I'm allowed to come off my rack, go to the hole and sit for fucking this many months, go do your job. I've had people telling me almost my entire life how to live my life because I couldn't live my life on my own. I didn't understand it.
Come on.
Once I fucking am able and took control of my life and who I am, now that has afforded me freedoms to dictate and make choices as to how I want to live my life. So it really bums me out when people try to fucking regain control of shit. I ain't got control over your life.
Yep.
right.
So why are you trying to gain control over my shit and tell me who and how I'm supposed to be and operate?
That's right.
Perfect.
That's right.
So that is what got me with a plethora of other things to the point to where I'm at now. But to you guys, how do you speak to that person that just fucking doesn't, it's not that fucking simple, man. Like in money, I know I met this fucking dickhead in high school and he just treated everybody like shit and he grew up with this fucking silver spoon in his mouth. How do we speak to those people to get them to understand the distinction between
several things? Well, one, why don't you go ahead and show us how it's supposed to be done?
Show what?
Right. Like if you got a problem with the people that got money,
Right.
And whatever your problems are, why don't you fucking show us?
Get money and show us how to live right.
Show us how it's supposed to be done.
Okay. Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
But you don't want to do that. Y'all just want to stay limited and slammed in the land of lack and be on the sidelines, cynical in life, not even really in the game, talking shit about how you'd be playing it,
Right.
judging us. But we're at least on the court. We at least got skin in the game.
Right.
We're doing the best. You got a problem with it? Hop on the fucking field to show us how to do it better. There's one. Number two, most people that say, man, it ain't all about the money, don't have any. Because those of us with a little know that by experience. That's why we don't have to even talk about it. We know it ain't all about the money. We talk about abundance all the time and are so quick to clarify abundance is way more than just money. But tonight we're talking about that part of your abundance, which is this conversation around money. But we're all about discovering and learning to receive our own abundance. I want all of what the universe has got provided for me. I want you to have everything God's provided for you. All abundance that is yours. I want you to have it now in your life, to experience it now. Abundance spiritually, fulfillment and freedom, healing, peace from the inside out, the abundant life. This is the life it's untapped meadows. And we're at least open to now taking a look to discover, is there possibly more to receive so that we can make a bigger impact and give on a bigger level? It's bigger than us. It's bigger than you. So yes, it ain't all about the money because it ain't all about you and it ain't all about me. The vision we have is bigger than us.
Yeah.
It's scary. Go ahead, John.
I think you just nailed it with it's not all about you. And I think that's the biggest struggle that most of us have. You know, like when I used to say people complain about traffic when they are traffic. You know,
I love
it's
that.
the same thing. It's not just you and everybody else is in your movie.
Yeah.
You know, and I think it's hard for everybody to kind of realize that, and it's so easy for us to dictate, like to put together evil and money. It automatically means something bad.
Right.
You know, like I used to say, you know, a long time ago, a father would take his son up the hill and show him the beautiful mansion and tell him, if you work really hard, son, someday this can all be yours. And now the father will walk with their child up the same hill and throw rocks at the house because fuck that guy and his money. He's automatically evil. And I guess because people have done inherently evil things for so long that we're wealthy, it's easy to see that, right? But that's not a good place to put yourself to judge people before they've actually done any kind of actions. You know what I mean? It's not a good way to think. It's not a good way to be. And I would hope that somebody would judge me on my character and not my wallet.
And most people which is a lot of people, that's learned behavior. They didn't
Totally.
It's learned behavior.
Yeah, and sometimes I think they're just mimicking it without even realizing what they're saying. Like, this whole thing started off with me mimicking it when I called somebody out right here on the podcast and said, Psh, who the fuck is he to charge that much? And you were like, no, wait a minute. And you laid out some ground rules. Again, I've said this repeatedly, but I was just repeating myself. I don't even think I was thinking about what I was saying other than, this will sound cool to Hip. You know what I'm talking about. and I look like a fucking idiot because I didn't know what I was talking about. Right?
How fucking beautiful, though, that Josh is having the courage and he's vulnerable enough and he's taking a look at himself and having the humility to be like, oh, hey, maybe the conclusion I've drawn here maybe isn't a conclusion at all.
Yeah, I was just looking at it the wrong way. Again,
Man.
I do that a lot in my life. I look at it the wrong. This is why I love science. Science always changes, and scientists change with the fucking new knowledge they get.
Man.
I'm not digging my heels in. This isn't the hill that I'm going to die on because guess what? I might get some new information tomorrow.
Come on. Yes.
More will be
But the
revealed,
fact that you're
dude.
open to that is the very evidence while new information is on its way to you tomorrow because you're open to receiving it. You're not closed off
Absolutely.
with judgment.
And I
Like,
think that's
there's
the
this
thing.
line here, you know.
Right, exactly. It's just, I think that's one of the things that it kind of, I don't know if freaks me out's the right word, but once it starts to happen, it's the most surreal experience I've ever had in my life. Like, it's never ending. It's always ever evolving and growing. And like, I see abundance and source everywhere. Like, I've got chills talking about it right now because it's so fucking real. And this is why I really wanted to talk about this more, because okay, you know when you started the keto diet, Matt, and you were like, all you motherfuckers are on keto and saying it's wonderful. Well, it ain't shit happening to me. And then it happened.
Yeah.
It fucking happened, didn't it?
Yeah.
Right? And it's the same thing. When this thing clicked with me, my back of my voice that was like, what the fuck's Matt talking about? He's privileged and he probably was raised in money. I don't have the same things Matt has. I had to work super hard to get where I'm at, and he doesn't understand. Oh, what's this? Abundance? Oh, what's happening over here? What's happening in my life all of a sudden? I'm giving. I'm able to give this to help this family out, and I'm hearing incredible stories of. I know I bring it up a lot, but HIP and the funeral homes and stuff. This, you know, both of you guys. That touched me. For those that don't know that, you should go back. I don't know what episode that is. We'll put a link below to make sure you can watch that episode where HIP and Matt go and they actually pay off people's funerals.
Yeah.
That's some serious giving. Is that evil?
I cannot take. I keep hearing that, but I haven't helped Matt do that. That was something of his own.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Well, I
Then
just
Matt
wanted to. I wanted to like let
Well,
it
you did,
ride. And
though.
I'm like, I can't
But
do
you
that.
contributed.
But you've done some equal.
He does that
amazing
shit all the
things.
time. All the
Exactly.
time.
And I don't
Stuff
even
like that.
Well, I mean, I guess.
I don't even. I apologize for bringing up such personal things, but
Nah,
as I'm
dude.
speaking on what's evil and stuff, I want you to know they are speaking from experience. I'm a newbie at this, but they put their money where their mouth is, and they really, really, really help other people. Whether that's what you choose to do or not, but I'm
right.
asking you that question of, would you call them evil now? You know what I mean?
Right.
You know how cool it would be to have fuck you money and like hear of fucking a tattoo artist possibly having cancer and needing help, you know, and anonymously paying for all their chemo and treatments until they're fucking cured of it,
Yeah.
or
When
their
I-
shops going under and you just anonymously like buy that shit for them with
Come
their
on.
name in the title,
Right,
and you
exactly.
and you just walk away because you've got fuck you money. You know what
Sign
I'm
me
saying?
up.
And I
Sign
think
me
tattoo
up.
artists are in the perfect position to do that. We make cash daily. A lot of tattoo artists think a lot alike. Some of the best people I've met in my life have been tattoo artists. So I think we're ripe to have that kindness crisis that we talked about.
Fuck
You know,
yeah.
when I was diagnosed with cancer, the very first appointment I ever had, when I had to do all my information, I had some $500 copay thing, and they were typing, and she was like, "Well, I don't know why, but I guess somebody's already paid for this." I have no idea who paid for that. Somebody figured out where I was going, didn't write me, didn't tell me anything. They just took care of it. The most stressful time in my fucking life, and somebody had the heart of gold to just help me out.
Come on.
And
Jesus.
believe me, I will never forget
Yeah.
that. And
Yes,
that's why today I help as much as I can. I'm not just saying, I know you hear about the pay for the guy's food behind you at McDonald's. And I know there's people out there that are like, Josh is thinking small. These are just little things that I think about. I do much bigger things.
That's right.
Matt and Hip do much bigger things. You can do much bigger things. These are just things to get the ball rolling, to feel that, right? That's all I'm talking about with that stuff.
And it's fun. Like when you painted that, but you painted it like fuck you money, which is cool, but that seems so unattainable to so many people. That's dream shit. But when really it's fun in our own level, we can all set aside our own little version of fuck you money
Right.
to stack up to bless somebody with. You don't have to be a millionaire to be a giver.
Not at all.
God's source of the universe is going to multiply anything you got. You give $20 and that 20 is like all you got to give. Watch fucking the magic around that make it impact as if it was $200K. It's not about the dollar amount. You know what I'm saying? It's the energy and the intent behind it. It's the mission. It's the calling. It's the need that needs met. And it's us that are willing to get to be the vessels. Whether it's $20 or $2 million, the impact, the need is going to be met through me, through you, through you, through you. Yes, please sign me up. I'm able, I'm willing, I'm available. You know, the ancient scripture constantly says God's eyes are constantly looking to and fro the earth, just looking for a willing vessel to drop all his glory in. We're not perfect. We're just willing.
Yeah.
I will.
Right,
What's
I
that
will.
look like? What are we going to do today? Sign me up. I'm already in because
You have
I'm
to-
willing.
Exactly. And you have to understand too, like how many of us work in shops or have worked in shops. There's always one or two artists that are just like pissed off all the time, kicking rocks, complaining. If you're that artist, just give this a try, man. I'm telling you, you'll change your whole day so quickly.
See, that's the thing, right? Abundance doesn't just mean good shit, right? You can get an abundance of fucking clients that don't want to pay your rates, that don't want to give you the tattoos that you want to do. The fucking more bills pile up. All that can come to you in abundance. So an abundance doesn't mean good or bad. It's just abundance, like of anything. Wherever your attention lies, whatever you're choosing to focus on, you're going to get that abundance in return. I bought a fucking Traverse, silver Traverse red line. And I tell you, like, when I bought it, and it happens with every car I've ever bought, or if I see one, you know, Matt bought a fucking Suburban a couple years ago, and it's like, I start seeing Suburbans now. I start seeing Traverses everywhere. Not just Traverses, but I'm seeing them in the exact color, year, make, model as mine is. It's because my attention is now switched to that, and it's something I see, so just, I start seeing it all around me. Yeah. It's the same with everything.
That's what they can. There's a book called The Secret, and I think that's literally what that is. Once you decide, I want to do something, the opportunity arises around every corner, right?
Man,
Back to living in the question, Josh, and learning to ask better questions, because we get what we expect. Like, you attract your own expectations. So if you're shit mood and life sucks, your clients suck, shit sucks, no one wants cool shit, no one wants to pay, that's kind of your way of being and your expectations. You wonder why that's what keeps showing up for you.
right.
Right.
And I think we've all lived that, so we can speak from experience on both sides. I've definitely been, I've lived in the dark. I've lived there, you know, and I just thought things sucked.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And they did.
They did. And now they don't.
Right.
They suck way less.
And the funny thing is you've got fucking cancer, and you're fucking happier now than you were before you had cancer. So
that's a great way to put it. You know what I mean? It's like through all of that, that's how powerful this is.
Jesus.
I still wake up every morning and I pinch myself and I say, hey, my arms are moving. I can breathe. I'm here today. Yeah. And I am happy. I'm truly happy. And this isn't some fake bullshit where I have to tell myself that. The reason I want to get on here every week and talk about this, I feel like I need to scream it from the mountaintops, because it can change your whole life. It can really change your whole life. And I want you to feel what I'm feeling. I really want people to feel this way, because I talk about a kindness crisis, and I think that if we could get closer to that, I'm not saying I can solve all the problems, man, but I think we could fix a lot of them.
Yeah.
A lot of them, with just changing our attitude and the way we look at things. Absolutely.
Right. Or even, you know, and this is going into my shit, like focusing on the process versus the result. The result would be fixing something. So it's like, me personally, I'm not going to get caught up on like, can I fix something? But what I can do is leave it better than I found it.
Yeah.
Shout out to Riley Smith and Joshua Carlton.
That's right. Yeah, it's funny. Back to when you were saying money's evil, and people take that scripture out of context. People will even be like, the Bible even says money is the root of all evil, and it doesn't say that.
Oh, that's a biblical thing?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Well, everyone thinks they're quoting scripture by saying money is the root of all evil. Not one translation, Greek, Hebrew, none of them say that. They leave out one major word. It says the love of money is the root of all evil. Doesn't say money it is. The love of money becomes the root of all evil. Back to your intention. Back to your why. Money itself is not evil. It's whose hands it's in. See, we've got a love for people. We got a love for our life. We got a love for passion. We've got a love for learning. We got a love for impact. We got a love for strangers we don't even know that we have compassion for, right? So when money shows up in our lives, it becomes the tool to fund our projects, our hearts, blessing others, having fun, whatever, right? The money is the necessary tool to get the job done. We're not just in love with money because we're up here like dick measuring, right? Just to try and fill our insecurities. You got a Lambo, I'm gonna buy a second Lambo. Right.
Pissing contest.
Like, We're not in it for the love of money. We're in it for the love of our life. And we need money to help us live the fullest life that we're falling in love with.
Yeah.
Huge difference. You know? I love God. I love you. I love this life. I love discovering what's possible. Not this fucking piece of paper. Not just money. But the money is what funds it. You want to call money evil? Why every time you do a fundraiser for a good cause are you asking for it? If it's evil, you know.
Ouch.
Anyhow, back to none of this matters about us or even what we fucking think. The only thing that matters in your life is what you think. And I hope today's discussion at least maybe broke up some of your thinking that you were so concrete and had solid conclusions on that maybe there's just more to look at. And maybe there's way more possible for you. We haven't even touched on this whole other factor called unworthiness, and that you feel undeserving. That, yes, you feel like you deserve things to go pretty good, to have a pretty cool life, but whoa, not this cool. Like, I don't deserve all that, right? We all have internal what we call upper limit triggers that will stop us and cause us to self-sabotage our own abundance because we'll be met with unworthiness. Welcome to the club. We all face that fucking demon too, don't we, guys? Right?
Absolutely. I think most artists do.
Yeah.
You know.
So this is a journey. This is a growing. There's no way we can totally transform your life or convince you in one podcast. You know, but this is what we cover in Tattoo Business Mastery. This is the life we've taken on, we're learning and growing into. You bet your ass we will continue in future episodes to pour into you, as like Josh always says, which I love his heart. When we learn something, we love to turn around and share it and teach it, what we're learning and what's working for us, right? And we will continue to do that because it's just in our DNA, you know?
Yeah, people are always like, why are you so quick to go and like give all your secrets away and all this? It's like, I don't know. When I know something was a real struggle for me and I finally figure it out, I just want to tell it the world. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I want everybody to have it.
I love that about you, Josh.
Thank you.
And you've inspired me in that way, because there are times, even when we started this podcast, because I have Tattoo Business Mastery, and part of me is like, well, I don't want to give all my golden nugget secrets away for free on the podcast. How do I do that when I'm charged, you know?
Sure.
But you helped me get free of that, you know, and serve with my whole heart here on the podcast and my students. And even if I share things that my paid students I share with too, now I'm going to work with them on a much deeper level than the listeners here that don't even get to talk with me right now.
And look what's happening with that. It's going better than ever.
Going better than ever.
So, you know.
Yeah, so you freed me up to, in this, even with what I'm learning in my own, to just give it. Just to give it away, you know. Back to you guys creating your own goal, own vision for you. Again, scripture says without vision, people perish. Vision is so important. I'd like to do a whole episode on vision for your life, your career, your shop, your culture, all of it, right? Especially you shop leaders. Vision is so important. It's the leader's job. And then to enroll everyone else in the vision and to help everyone individually see their vision. And part of that vision is their livelihood, i.e. finances, this thing called money. All your dudes, all of your gals on your team, your whole squad needs a monthly and a weekly financial goal, and you as the leader need to know it and support them in it. You guys all need to know one another's financial goals so you can support and grow in it together. Now everyone's high-fiving one another. In our shop, if there's someone's got a 2K goal, they just had a cancellation, they're at 17 for the week, and the week's almost over, they're 300 shy of hitting their goal. We all know it. What do we go into? Full-on celebration and manifestation and belief that we know you declared the goal of 2K. It's going to be real interesting to see how the way is going to be made and who's going to come, email, call, show up in the next few hours. wanting a $300 tattoo for you to hit that
Right.
goal, but now it's got all of us believing and agreeing with you in our own network, and collectively together we help one another hit the goal. That $300 tattoo shows up every time. Now, who it may come through, it may show up in a different form, not who you thought you was coming to. It may come through another team member, but because we were able to do that because we were aware of one another's goals and supporting one another in that. The only reason why we were able to do that is because they fucking existed to begin with. You got to create the goal for yourself, and you get to pick. I suggest, what do you want to make a month? Divide that by 4. There's your weekly goal. Divide that by how many days you want a week. You want to work 4 days a week or 5 days a week? What's your day look like? Now you know what to focus on the business you're building, and you've let God and the universe and Siri know your destination each week. And Joshua Carlton takes it down to the day by day. You can break it down to the day as well. Start with your monthly, break it to weekly. What's that look like a day? Now, like Mr. Carlton, you can wake up every day. Now you've got your daily number. Now you have a destination. You've just given God, source, the universe, something to work with because you are now tangibly placing an order. You're worth it. Do it.
Hell yeah.
It's so important.
Yeah, you got to declare it. You got to own it.
Yeah. Yeah, or else when we're just cruising around
Yeah,
and we don't
just
know.
fucking blindly going, no.
But you're fucking complaining. You're fucking hating on the motherfuckers that are already have arrived at your destination, but you ain't even fucking going nowhere. But you want to complain or be like, woe is me. You know, oh, this week sucked.
Or the man, I don't know if you want to call it old school mentality or not, but like, you know, tattoos and deposits are supposed to be X amount of money and that's it. As if like there's a cap to what that amount should be, which is dictated by the people in the past. And I mean, if that's the case, then why are those people paying for gas? Why are they not riding horse and buggy? You know, like that's the old school way to do shit. Why do you have a cell phone? You know, why are you drawing on an iPad instead of a pen and paper? Like things evolve and grow and change, and it's actually a good thing. But because we're creatures of habit, we get in these comfort zones where we get stuck in routines and it gets uncomfortable or weird because we get set in our ways. And I'm saying we because I'm part of this too, and I constantly got to make myself change and evolve and reevaluate what things look like, what my prices are, you know, what kinds of deposits am I supposed to take. And it is very easy to look outside of myself and see people that are better than me doing things a certain way, but then that gets back into that mentality of like my programming, and I have to remind myself like, oh yeah, people told me how to live for so long, so you know what, fuck that, I'm making my own calls. You know, kill your master. I'm making my own calls. I ain't let, you know, it's like fucking, I got people on pedestals, right? And I get like the whole eat the rich, kill your master mentality, but it's like, boom, you have a mentor that raises you up, tells you like, this is how it is. You can't open a tattoo shop unless you have 10, at least 7 years before even doing this. And I'm losing my train of thought here. You know, this is the way it is because I said so, and it's because my mentor said so, and on and on and on and on. It's like, when do you break that cycle of insanity or limiting belief or master mentality that's put there to keep you, what's the word I'm looking for? Keep you...
There's control there. There's ego there.
No, to keep
ceiling,
you,
limited, a ceiling on your...
Submissive or... fuck, thank God this shit can be edited.
But it ain't gonna be.
Well, that's fucking cool too. I'm totally down with letting this shit ride. Yeah, I mean, controlling, yeah, for the lack of better terms. We can just say fucking controlling. So it's like a motherfucker will have that kill your masters mentality and then fucking throw rocks at you because you actually have killed your master and live by life on your own terms, but they're pissed at you and judging you and moralizing what you do because they're still stuck in that having a master mentality, why they're believing that they're free of. I'm fucking butchering this shit. Is it even making sense?
I checked out.
Yeah, I see Matt over here fucking hitting the fidget spinner, and I'm like, am I alone? I need a tag in, somebody.
Well, all our blunt smokers are with you.
Yeah.
They're like, man, whatever the fuck, I'm feeling it.
Shit makes sense, dog.
I'm sorry I wasn't listening. I can't help.
Right. And you know, there's definitely a better way to say it. And I guess it's, I don't fucking know. Like, there's a lot of hypocrites out there, and that's cool, and I get that, because some people might call me a hypocrite, but I'd rather be called a hypocrite than the person I used to be.
Hey, you know what? Look how Gary Vee always says things that we love. Like, hey, if you want to build the biggest, we're going to build the biggest building in town by doing simply just that, not by tearing others down, right?
Mm-hmm.
Something else Gary Vee always says that we agree with, and I've even gone live and said my own version of it, which is, hey, especially in the world today, man, it seems like there's so much negativity everywhere, right? Because there is. But the reason why isn't because most of the world's now negative or gone south. The truth is, there are still good people, beautiful, loving, caring people out here everywhere that still the good outweighs the bad. The difference is why it doesn't seem like that is simply just because the negative people have been way louder.
Yep.
The positive people are still everywhere. The rich, abundance people that God uses to make real fucking moves and kingdom type shit no one knows or even talks about. And those motherfuckers aren't standing up like, much as me, look at me, you welcome God. Hey, right? They're humble, they're honored, they're quiet. So one thing Gary Vee is now pitching to the world is all of us positive people, it's time for us to start loving louder now. Right? But it's just a bunch of noise out there. But don't get it twisted. There's still good folks out here everywhere. Way more. The good still outweighs the bad. It's just the bad's been louder. This is why, another reason why we created the Guardians podcast, to help start the positivity, the kindness movement to be louder. Right?
Yeah.
It matters. And in saying all that, I have been fortunate enough to meet great men. I have great men in my life right now. I got coaches and mentors, but I can't tell you guys how many multi-millionaires. You know, there's a thing, you know, 7 figures is $1 million. You know, if you're a 7-figure earner or multiple 7-figure, 8 figures is 10 million plus, right? And I'm friends with 7-figure earners, 8 figures, and 9-figure earners, right? And they're some of the most beautiful, giving people, and their vision is how can we help change the world, impact the world. I mean, a few months ago, of course, I couldn't leave because everything's going on in my life, but they called me to invite me to go to Mexico with them because they were building houses and schools for families in need that didn't have a home or a school, like on their own dime, right? Wow. But there was no documentary. They're not on Instagram about it, but they called me to invite me, knowing my heart, to just go and serve and love, right? Doing shit like this all the time, but the rest of the world don't know about it, and we just hear the negative and get discouraged, right? And can even think that, yep, anybody with money is bad. So back to fucking eat the rich, kill your master. It's easier to do that than to take the responsibility to become rich yourself and become a new master that the world deserves. It's way easier to judge someone else on the court. Why don't you fucking get on the court and do it right then? Join up with us. It's easy to sit on the sidelines and talk shit, but what are you doing? And you ain't got to, right? But at least we're fucking playing this game, and we get judged. And sometimes it hurts, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And that's all right.
Yeah. It's
because if, you know, looking how much pain have I caused judging people from sitting in the bleachers.
Yes.
And telling them how they should be playing. I'd be doing this if I was out there,
Man.
but not be willing to get out there and do it.
And again, this is why your abundance and this whole thing of life, you know, that's why I love the Bob Marley quote. Some people are so poor, all they have is money. Right?
Yeah, man.
Man. So this is back to things like harmony in our life, right? Why would you want to chop a tree down with a butter knife when chainsaws exist? You could be way more impactful and way more efficient with the right tools, right? Same with how you live your life, your family, the house you build, you know, your stresses, your worries. Maybe, just maybe, there's an abundant life that's already here for you, an untapped meadow that you can discover and uncover for you and your family's life that will alleviate the daily stresses and pressures and arguments and fears and worries and doubts that you live with on the daily. Like, or did you just decide that this is as good as it gets, this is my life, right? This goes back to limiting beliefs that I call them spiritual assassins. Have you ever watched an action film and there's a assassin up on the roof and he starts taking shots and pegging people, taking them out while the whole crowd scurries? It's usually the hero of the film and the law enforcement. What are they trying to do? Simply just to identify him. Why? Because everyone knows the assassin's power lies solely in remaining undetected. The second he's detected, he's up on the north building. Boom, he loses his power. He packs his shit up and runs away. No one even had to make him leave. They couldn't get, he was already gone. Simply from being exposed. That's another part of what we grow into is we are looking. This is why I have coaching. This is what I do for my students, to be like a mirror to help you see your own blind spots, i.e. your own limiting beliefs, your own spiritual assassins, to simply identify them so that they lose their power and hold on you. You can just let them go. And now you can take on what remains is a purer, truer version of you, automatically more into your own power and your own abundance, because the blockage, the limitation that was in your way has now been identified and removed. This is part of the process too. How you see your life determines what's possible for you. We are walking around with layers of skewed limiting beliefs. This is why we've got to look at them, address them, let them go so that we can see more clearly our own abundance and that you're worthy of receiving and having it all. You ain't got to, but my God, you get to.
That's right. Awesome.
Really hope this stirred something up in you today. Who knows? Or maybe we'll start getting hate mail. Who knows? I still feel like we've only scratched the surface of this conversation.
I definitely agree, yeah.
Around money. But tonight was fun. Again, just re-churning it a little, getting y'all to think.
Right.
And getting people comfortable with money and talking about
it. About it. Hopefully this stirs up discussions with you and in your studio with your artist. You got a weekly goal? What is it? Do you know your brothers? Do you know your sisters? Are you supporting your coworkers in their weekly goal? Come on, let's grow. Let's go together. Let's support one another, right? You do it in fitness. Why not do it in your finances?
Yeah, that's
financial fitness.
Yeah, it's completely normal in fitness to do that, but it's not at all. That's a great way to look at it, yeah.
Yeah, let's support one another in your growth, in your financial fitness.
A financial spotter.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Man, so any of you, we always invite you guys to write us, to comment your thoughts on what we discussed today. Please do so, and I'm definitely curious of what's coming up for you today, and it very well may spark us to talk more about this based on where you're at with this conversation right now. Thank you every week for tuning in and listening. All your guys' love and support. It's mind-blowing to us, isn't it, guys?
It is.
It's amazing.
Gee,
it's absolutely amazing.
You keep listening. We're going to keep meeting here on these microphones and sharing our hearts for you, with you, just because.
Absolutely.
You.
You know, you had a student last night that was scared to take chances for whatever reason. I believe he was saying like it would take him away from his shop. And, you know, we're always looking at things as it's an either or. And he wrote me this morning and, you know, told me he loved like what I had to say and everything. And I really appreciate that. And I told him, and it's funny because, like, you know, hearing you talk about like the audience and the things that they're saying and all the positive feedback we get from doing this, I actually told him, I was like, look, dude, if I never would have like faced my fear and went out and networked, I would have never met Josh. I would have never become friends with Josh.
You wouldn't have met me.
Yeah, right there. Okay, so we can just X that out the way. I would have never fucking applied courage and got to meet with you and then start working with you, which then in turn led me to have the opportunity to do Evergreen, which then had me the opportunity to like apply some courage and like hang around this dude and like get to know him because he has what I want and I'm willing to make the effort to get it and do what he does to get what he gets, because that's what they taught us in recovery, which in turn led to what we're doing like right now, like the things that you guys are giving us and the positive feedback and how you're replaying these episodes and re-listening to things over and over again, and just all the love would not have been possible if I wouldn't have put some courage in and moved forward. And the same for all of us, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, I know we're all scared individuals and taking chances. So for Josh to even speak up and be like, hey, man, maybe we should start something. We're supposed to talk to people. And then you having the courage to be like, man, you know what? Yeah, fuck yeah, let's do this. Because everything's in the commitment. We made a 3-year commitment to do this, and it was fucking hard. Remember the technical malfunctions we were having, guys?
Right.
And like the arguments and like the little resentments that we had to work through and talk through, and like we're still getting the bugs out of everything, and it's just like you're showing us that what we did, the chance we took, was worth it.
Yes.
So like, take your fucking chances, man. This is not a practice life.
Come on.
Hell yeah. Redeemed himself.
I dropped the ball. I picked the ball back up. I shoot the ball. I make a point.
Woo. My God. It was telling me there's a dude talking to him about our podcast, and he said he loves what you got to say, Josh, and he loves what Hip got to say, but when I start talking, he hits fast forward.
And he's in our town too.
So I feel bad about tonight's episode. He might as well fast forward the whole middle. You know?
Damn.
Which is just proof that we all are bringing something to the table.
Well, me and Josh are.
For sure.
Air daps.
Woo. But yeah, it's awesome to see how we're individually impacting maybe different individuals, obviously, and then collectively together, you know, because there's not been one episode where it's just one of us, right? So I love you guys, and thank you for letting me be on this ride with you boys. I'm fucking honored.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah. I like that, though.
Thank you, all your listeners, for sure, as well.
Yes.
Thank
My
you.
goodness. Big things on the horizon, from shows this year to Joshua Carlton's fucking clothing line, and maybe even coming out with coffee mugs. Who
Yeah, you
fucking
thirsty?
knows?
Are you thirsty, Josh?
I'm a little thirsty.
Hey, damn, I like that mug, boy. Yeah, who wants a Tattoo Guardians mug?
It just tastes so much better in this mug. It's like, oh, what? This is something that Matt, side note, Matt Clemmer, didn't say anything. You could just fast forward right through this.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Whew. Happy day.
Happy day.
Till next week, this has been another episode of the Tattoo Guardians podcast show. We love each and every one of you. Till next week. Thanks for listening. Let's see you. Ladies and gentlemen, as promised, this is the tattoo giveaway from Mr. Carson, the creator of the Pneuma Machine, through us vessels, the Tattoo Guardians. We gave you the stipulations of what it takes to even enter your name in this, and maybe you didn't even think the odds were in your favor. Out of all you listeners, you know how many of you even signed up to win this free tattoo machine? 6. If you knew your odds were 1 in 6, Now, do you wish you would apply?
Hey, 5 of the entries are me.
So I get to pull it and Hip, you gonna read it or what?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, that's all of us here. Me, Hip, Carlton, Mike, Carson's here in spirit. Man, I hate it when there's two together. And I let one go. I better not say Hip.
So,
Mike wrote it awful small.
he did. Just like him. But his heart's big.
Yep.
I appreciate that.
Just like him.
So the winner of the Numa 4 is Tattoos by Preach. Tattoos by Preach.
Hey, happy day, congratulations.
And what does he
Preach.
win?
He wins a Numa 4. You can go ahead and reach out to Numa and Carson and the family there, and then customize your Numa 4.
Custom. I mean,
Wow.
he gets to pick what size, what color he wants.
Color, fucking shape, fucking, yeah.
That's amazing, Carson. Thank you so much for doing that for us and
Yeah,
being
thank
on
you.
the podcast.
No
Yeah.
shit. Thank you, Carson Hill, for your giver's heart.
And he's a fucking guardian.
Fuck yeah.
From the get-go.
He's a
He,
guard.
didn't even, he just didn't know it.
That's
He's
right.
a guardian. He's a disruptor of the industry.
Man.
He's a fucking tattoo
That was a
artist.
great episode.
It was a great episode.
Hey, Preach, when you get your machine, take a picture and tag us in it. We want to see it in your hands.
Yes, yes.
Congratulations. Happy
Yes,
day.
congratulations. And on episode
Woo!
30, going back to on episode 30, at the end of it, if you guys remember, I had made a print backwards. Instead of throwing it out, I was like, I'm going to hang on to that. I think there's some good for that.
Yes.
And I decided I was going to give it to one of our listeners.
Yeah.
And so I have chosen that person as well from episode 30. It's a big skull print I have. It was filmed, printed backwards. So I kind of crossed out the number on it and signed it as a test print. So it's literally only one of a kind. And that's going to go to Mr. Victor Hernandez.
Oh,
So, Victor Hernandez, if you were
Hernandez.
listening, I see you. I love you. I'm super stoked you listen to our podcast, and I will
Yes.
happily send this to you. So please get a hold of me and send me that address. Hell yeah.
Congratulations, Victor. Blessings.
Preach. Abundance is headed your way, guys.
Man, guys, do you think we'll ever give anything else away on the show?
I don't know, that kind of broke us.
Next
Might just-
time, maybe you should apply 1 in 6.
Might just be giving away one of these badass mugs.
Ooh, I love it. Woo.
Mug's coming.
I'm just
Tattoo
saying.
guardian.
So you preach, Victor. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, guys.